All right, guys, we are here looking at bronzers. I'm gonna also go through some of my powders. We're gonna kind of declutter-ish. I mean, I don't know. I'm really struggling between the idea of decluttering things or just really focusing on using them. So I guess what we'll do is more of like a collection thing, and then I may or may not get rid of some stuff. Bronzer is one of my favorite categories, so I don't anticipate getting rid of much here, but I do have a lot of things that I want to get rid of in my powder collection. So there will be some decluttering. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Sam and I am a makeup enthusiast. Makeup is my therapy, so this is also very important to me for my makeup playtime. If you feel the same way, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can come back for more videos. I'm sorry my nails look a little gross. I've washed dishes and done a number of things, so all right, so I don't have that many stick products here, so I guess I'll just quickly go over that. I don't have much. I have 5. That's pretty much a lot. These two are the same thing. These are the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation Sticks in the shade Mocha. I use them as a bronzer. This is one that I'm using, and this is a backup, which I might just switch over to the backup because this one is getting pretty old. But it looks okay. It smells fine. Probably just looks gross because I actually do use this. So I'm going to hold on to it like most things. This one right here is the Nude 6 Terracotta Tan, and honestly, I was quite disappointed when I purchased this as a bronzer when it first came out, because on my skin tone, it's much more like a blush-ish kind of color. So I don't know. I think I might move this into my blush drawer. I've used it a little bit, but more so as a blush than a bronzer. And I have these two Kylie Jenner cream sticks. I have medium and tan. Now, surprisingly, these come out very cool tone, and I feel like they're more like a contouring type of product, and I do not contour. Although I've been playing with the idea of doing that, to use them up, like use them and then maybe use a powder bronzer on top. I'm not one to typically do that. Let me turn down the light just a little. I don't typically do that just for the simple fact that I don't feel like you need to add more product on top of more product, but for the sake of maybe using some of these products, I might consider doing that. So I have those. This was a recent purchase from Kiko Milano. This is the Charming Escape bronzer in number 2, and this is quite beautiful. I thought it was going to be way too light on my skin, but it did show up, and as I start to lose my tan, this will probably be one I will reach for a little bit more. The Bahama Mama is a classic for me. As you can see, I got a lot of use out of this, and it looks kind of gross, but I promise you it still works perfectly fine. It just gets that weird hard pan look to it, but it's not actually like bad. This is the Wet n Wild Striptease, Sunset Striptease bronzer. And I like this surprisingly, even though it has like shimmer in it, and I typically prefer a matte bronzer. I'm going to hold on to this a little bit longer. This one's new to my collection, and it's kind of similar to that Wet n Wild one. This is the Revlon Skin Lights in the shade, what is it in the shade? Prismatic Bronze. And she's really cute. The packaging I like for drugstore. I have here the Hula Caramel from Benefit. I like this one a lot. I hate the packaging. Part of me wants to just take it out of the packaging and put it in something smaller, like a, you know, like a tiny ColourPop empty, you know, magnetic palette or something like that, because I really hate that packaging. I also have this I Heart Revolution coffee bronzer in Latte that I'm going to keep. I don't hate this, but I don't love it. It gets a lot of kick up in the pan. I'm considering using this like in a project pan type of thing because I think it would be easy to burn through it, and I'd like to kind of get it out of my collection, even though it's not a bad product. It's just because I have so many better things that I would like to focus on. This is the Kimchi, what's this called? Taylor bronzer, and I went to Maui, which is number 5. This is pretty warm, but I actually don't mind it at all. I really, really like it. I'll swatch it. So when I want to like sun-kissed kind of look in the springtime, I feel like this is like really nice. This is my favorite bronzer, and I have 2 of them. Is yellow in here? Yep. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer. I have medium and tan 3. So obviously when I don't have a tan, I'm going to use medium. And this is what she looks like. And then in the summer, I use tan. And they're beautiful, and I absolutely love them. Then we have the Abh Cream Contour Palette. This is actually pretty good. I don't use really these 2 shades at all. I focus mostly in on these 2, and I find that they work really well. Sorry that the angle is weird. Like, I can't like go from behind the camera. I'm on the other side, so just bear with me. So these are the 2 shades that I typically use. As you can tell when I go into this, it's a pretty good formula. I actually prefer this a little bit over like the Fenty cream bronzer, surprisingly. This was like a favorite from last year that was a complete utter surprise to me. This is the L'Oreal Bronze Please in Latera. I think it's called El Mafi number 3. Yes, El Mafi is the shade, and this is what she looks like. And she's absolutely stunning. I don't know if I want to keep... Now it's making me think, like, do I want to keep this one? Because I have this, and I just got the Revlon lights. I feel like, who needs that many shimmery bronzers when I don't really like shimmery bronzers? I think I'm going to get rid of this Wet n Wild one and see if maybe my sister or somebody will want to try it. It is a good bronzer, but like now that I'm thinking about it, and I have both of these, and this is a little darker, this is a little lighter, like I don't need that third one. So, and it's not something I'm going to reach for all the time. Like a matte bronzer, I'll reach for all the time. So I'm going to put this one to the side. Look at that. I decluttered something. This is my Gucci bronzer in the shade number 3, which I want to say was like the medium shade, but I could be wrong. And the compact is stunning. I love this formula. I love the color. This is not going anywhere. Let's see. This is a newer one to me. This is the e.l.f. Putty bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. I haven't used this yet. I've swatched it. The shades made it look like it would be way too dark for me, but I think, like, honestly, it will work once it's blended out. See? So I didn't want to get the lighter one. It looked very orangey, you know, and I don't want an orangey bronzer. What else do I have? This is the Fenty Cream in Teddy. I just went to grab my other bronzers because I realized I had the other one in my everyday makeup. So this is Honey Glaze, and then this one is Teddy. I really like Honey Glaze. Teddy is good for me when I'm darker, but it's a little olive, I guess. I like that it's a little bit more olive. I don't know. I I feel like I didn't reach for this at all in the summer. Because I think in the summer when I get darker, I actually pull a little bit more red. So I don't know. I might not keep this. I'll think about that. That's a maybe. I also have the Fenty Beauty like regular bronzer in Island Ting. And this is what she looks like. I like this bronzer. It's not one of my favorites. I just find that it does pull a little like orangey warm, which is not my favorite. It's kind of like the kimchi. They're good, but they're not my favorite. This one's a little bit creamier, so it blends a little nicer. I love this. This is the Touch and Soul body and face bronzer. I have mine's in the shade Dark. This stuff is absolutely stunning. Everybody talks about the e.l.f. one. They talk about the ABH. They talk about NARS and all these other expensive brands, but I will tell you right now, this one gets no love, and it's really, really good. Really, really good. And I'll show you a swatch of that. Find a clean finger. There we go. That's it swatched out on my hand. I think it looks quite nice. And it dries down nicely. It goes on very balmy, but it doesn't stay sticky. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Cappuccino. This is a very nice one. It's not exciting though to use. I don't know why, but I have this from XX Revolution, the shade Phantom. I think this is very comparable to the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. And I really like the packaging on this. Like, this is a great bronzer. I really like this one. This is one that doesn't really excite me ever, is the Tarte Hotel Heiress bronzer. It works well on me. It was a little hard press. I get hard pan on this all the time, which makes it a little bit frustrating to use. So it's not one of my favorites, and I may consider, actually, I think I may ask my sister if she wants to try this. It's a beautiful color and the packaging is nice, but it's just not my favorite. And sometimes it does get hard pan, and I know I tend to just scrape it. It's not like the biggest thing, but when I have so many other bronzers, you know, I don't need this one. Then I have the City Bronzer in the shade 300. Yeah, I don't know what the, like, if it has a name, but this is what it looks like. Very good, like, standard bronzer. Kind of reminds me of the ABH one and like formulation, not the color though. This is the NYX bronzer in the shade, I think, Deep Tan. This one is, again, I feel like these three are all four, they're all the same bronzer. This one they don't make anymore. This is the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronzer, and I have mine's in the shade Dark to Deep. I really love this stuff. It's very sheer. I know I have like the dark deep one, and it does look very dark. But I just find that it's very like sheer formula, so you can kind of just do it very subtly. And like I said, when I get tan in the summer, I tend to lean a little red. So for me, I really like this. It's a great bronzer. I wish they did not discontinue this so that I could recommend to people. I have the Glowish Bronzer in, this one is in Rich 05. Really nice. It's more red tone. Sometimes it kind of looks like a blush on me, but it's beautiful. And then I have 03 Tan Light as well. This one I hope to pull out in the winter months and see how it looks on me. It was more skin tone like. I could use this as a face powder right now, and not really as a bronzer. Then we have my Nabla bronzers. I have the shade Soft Revenge, and then the shade Profile. Soft Revenge is very cool tone and more like a contour. So if I was to contour, I'm more apt to use this. So I think these Kylie ones, maybe they have to go. And my sister can just enjoy them. I can't be a hoarder forever. So I'm going to see if my sister is interested in these. And then this is the shade Profile, and as you can see, it's a lot more red and warm compared to the other one. Then we have Pretty Vulgar. This is the Bronze Bee Bronze Mannequin Bronzer. I got this forever ago in a BoxyCharm. It's easy to use. It's very dusty when you use it. It looks good on my skin. It's just not fun to use. I use this when I'm like in the winter months, obviously. You can tell it's way different than my other bronzers. And then we're kind of in my light bronzer section. And this is Chaos from XX Revolution. This is the shade that I use in the winter months. And then we have my Huda Beauty Cream Bronzer Tantour. It's in the shade Light. And this stuff is phenomenal. It just doesn't match me at all in the summertime. So I have to wait until I lose all my color. I know so many people like do like spray tanning or home tanning and all these tannings like to keep their tan all year. And sometimes I can't wait to lose my tan so that I can use my whole collection. This is the new ABH Cream Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Caramel. Here we go. And this was way too light. It looked darker in the swatches online, and it's definitely too light. This is going to match me actually perfectly in the winter months, but as of like right this second, it's not going to do much for me, so I haven't really got to play with it too much. We're gonna hold on to it for a little longer. And then this is the Kiko Milani. This is the Lost in Almifa bronzer in number 2, and it's kind of like a bronze highlight duo. Like this is a highlight and that's a bronzer, but you can like mix the two, and this is quite nice. Again, something I'm not using right now because of my current skin tone. So you can see based on my bronzers like range, like right now I'm using this one, but like a month ago in the summer I was using this, and then come winter I'm gonna be using like this one. So it's just like my skin tone changes so much. I'm very sensitive to the sun. Even like when I'm wearing sunscreen, I do tan significantly. So this is a newer one to my collection. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Endless Summer. I picked this up because I'm trying like more radiant kind of bronzer. So this one has more of a sheen to it, and I'm really excited to play with this one. It literally just came in, so I have not used it. This is even like the first swatch. So I'm very excited to play with that. It doesn't look very dark. I can't even see it, but we'll see on my face. My hands tend to be a little darker. Then this is the shade Deep Bronze. This is the Butter Bronzer in Deep Bronze, and I actually want to get rid of this one because I'm trying to hold it so you can see it good. It's a little cool tone for me, and I don't love that. Again, when I tan, my tan tends to be a little red, and so when I put this on top, it tends to make my forehead and stuff look ashy. So I need to get rid of this one. The next one is the Butter Bronzer in Sunkissed, and this is pretty much one of my go-tos when I don't have a tan in the winter months. As you can see, it's very, very light. So again, winter bronzer. Then I have this one from Ofra. This is a really, probably my oldest bronzer. This is Versatile, and this is what she looks like. You can see I did get a lot of love of her at one point. Like you can see the rings in the pan, and I might put this in this winter, like in a project pan or something like that, because I feel like I could hit pan on this, but right now it just does not match me, so I would look ridiculous trying to do that. Then I have this one from Beauty Bay in the shade Caramel, and I actually could wear this right now. It's pretty dark. All right. And then the last but not least is the Juvia's Place Bronzer Duo in Tan. And I love that this came with 2 shades, because literally this is like my summer and this is like my winter, and I can mix the 2 if I want. And that was ingenious for Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place to do that. This is, again, Tan. Love it. So I'm going to put these back. And I try to, again, keep them kind of separated by color. All right, powders. I have a ton of powders, as you can see. There's some I know right off the bat I want to get rid of. These 2 from Milani, the Fit Me's. This is the shade medium, and light medium. I absolutely never use these powders. Light medium is too light for me, and the shade medium, I don't know if you can see, but it has like a pinkish rosy tone to it. Let me just open it. It's more neutral than I would like, and so when I use this, it just clashes. I know that sometimes my skin can look a little neutral, but when I put neutral things and then I have like and I have warmth and stuff to my skin, I get like a muddy, ashy look. So these are gonna go. This one from Juvia's Place, the packaging is so stunning, and I'll tell you right now, I've tried my best to make this work because I love Juvia's Place and I love the packaging. Honestly, this is the I Am Magic setting powder in Kalahari. This is way too yellow. I've probably used it in videos and you can just tell it looks crazy on my skin, and I just do not want to use it. Another one that I never reach for are these Maybelline Fit Me Powders. I have 312 and 333, and I never use these powders. They're not terrible, but they're just not my favorite. I have so many good ones. I don't need these. So I'm going to let these go as well. This one from Bare Minerals. Oh my goodness. I got this in an influencer and I was so excited. I love Bare Minerals, and I actually really liked the powder for the blurring effect, and it left the skin looking smooth, but it did leave a cast, and that was disappointing. They do have this in other shades, so I might actually go out and buy the shade Tan in the future, but as of right now I cannot wear this. So I'm gonna see if my cousin will want to try this. All right, this is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion in the shade Tawny. I use this all of the time. She's not going anywhere. I have the Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Medium. I use this all the time. I don't know if you can see, there's a dip in that pan. I have the NYX High Glass. I love this stuff. It is discontinued. Before it discontinued, I did purchase a backup. So I'm not getting rid of these. I absolutely love them. Another favorites are my Jouer powders. They're the Hydrate and Set powders. I have the shade Tan, which you can see has been used and abused. I did break a corner and then repressed it, but I have used a significant amount of that one. And this is the shade Medium. I haven't used this one as much because I purchased the Charlotte Tilbury and then I couldn't stop using that, but I do want to give this one some more love. Let's talk about some of these. These are, actually I have two of these. So these are the Essence My Skin Perfecting Loose Powder. I got the shade Medium initially and I really loved this powder for setting my whole face. This is the shade Medium, guys. Like, it is dark. It is dark, and I was crazy surprised as to like how dark it is. It's a little dusty, obviously. It's a powder, but it is beautiful on the skin. And so I went and bought the shade Nude so that I can use this like under my eye and everything. I haven't opened it yet, but I just got this recently. This is one that I want to try out and I haven't used. It's brand new as well. It's the Catrice Poreless Perfection Powder, and this is the shade Universal. I'm curious to see how universal it is, but I mean, I'm glad to see that it's not pure white like the Bare Minerals. So I'm excited to try this one out. This is the Glowish Luminous powder. I have the shade Medium, and this actually kind of matches my skin right now. That probably is more accurate to what the color of the powder looks like. You can only use this in certain parts of your face, more like a finishing powder, hence why it's in this drawer and not my foundation. I do like this powder as a finishing powder. Huda Beauty. This is the shade Blondie. I'm obsessed with this powder. This is my absolute favorite loose powder. She ain't going anywhere. Similar packaging. This is the Fit Me loose powder in the shade Medium Deep. I am going to keep this one because I feel like the color is really nice if I want to set my face. It has like a yellowish reddish tone to it, which is nice. So I'm keeping this one. Then I have the Too Faced Peach Perfect powder, and this is just their universal shade. I think they have a tan one that I never got, and I think this is discontinued. I tried to purchase it like on their website and then it disappears from my cart, which means they don't have it. I love this stuff. I just haven't used it in a long time because I haven't been using a lot of mattifying primers, but I do want to keep it for when I want to use, you know, do that kind of a look. And for mattifying primers, I also have the Ciate London Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. And I got this in a BoxyCharm. It is white, white, white. But I will tell you, it goes on the skin translucent, which is really surprising, and it works really well to mattify. I did use this summer and I enjoyed it, so I'm going to keep that. I have the Becca Hydra Mist Set Refresh Powder. I got this in a BoxyCharm ages ago as well. This is really nice formula. I'm so sad that it's gone, but I am going to hold on to this. Same goes for the Becca, what does it call this? The Light Filter Finishing Veil. I have Star Hugger, which is number 3. And yeah, I'm keeping that one as well. Sephora Micro Smooth, what shade is this? Tan. I'm going to keep this. I don't use it very much, and you know, if I don't find that I'm going to use this in like the next few months, I probably will declutter this one. I just find like I never reach for it, and it's quite old. So this is kind of like, it's on probation. This one right here is a drugstore one I got ages ago at a Walmart. It's Black Radiant Soft Focus Finishing Powder. I think they sell it on their website. I have the shade Golden Almond Finish. I love this stuff. I love this powder for setting my face. It doesn't mattify, but it just smooths out the skin really nicely, and I love it. All right, we only have a few more, and I'm going to keep them all, but if you're still interested, let's keep watching, keep going. Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder in the shade Translucent Medium. I really like this. It's just a simple basic powder. I don't think it does anything like, you know, transformative to the skin, but I think it's pretty good. And then I have my Jaclyn Hill. This is like that luminous powder, yeah, in the shade Carrots. I used this a bunch when I first got it and I liked it, and I haven't used it in such a long time. I really think I would want to try it again, just because now that I have the Glowish and my NYX High Glass, like there's a bunch of luminous powders in here. The Becca one, yeah, I'm like kind of curious to play with this again and like use all those things back to back and compare them. This is a brand new powder I got like as an Ulta freebie thing with a purchase from Will Be People. This is the Bio Base Baked Brightener in Universal Glow. And it's very white, and it has like a sheen, a glow sheen to it. I'm curious to use this on the skin. I have not like used this on my face. It goes on pretty smoothly. I don't think I have a cast, but there's like a sheen to the skin, which is very intriguing. So I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's like a little bit of a luminosity. So I want to try this at the very least, and it was free, so why not? And then the last one is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I have the shade Medium, and I'm actually going to keep this. I really like this powder, and she ain't going nowhere. So let's get this all back together. I'm getting rid of these 6 powders. I'll see if my sister wants to try any of these besides this one. I'm gonna give my cousin, but if she's interested in these or not.